Have you ever found yourself being resented, dismissed, or even attacked by people you've only ever treated with kindness? You go out of your way to support them, to listen, to forgive. And yet, the more compassion you show, the colder or more hostile their response becomes. This paradox is both painful and perplexing. According to Swiss psychologist Carl Jung, this isn't just social misfortune. It's a window into the hidden recesses of the human psyche. In this video, we'll explore Jung's profound insights into why kindness is sometimes met with contempt, how the human shadow operates, and what it means to be authentically kind in a world that often punishes sincerity. The truth, as Jung shows us, is both disturbing and liberating. The mirror of kindness. Why goodness feels like a threat. Most people believe that kindness should naturally be met with gratitude or at least decency. It seems intuitive that if you're nice, people will respond in kind. But Jung's exploration of the unconscious mind tells a different story. He revealed that acts of kindness can actually serve as a psychological mirror, reflecting back to others the parts of themselves they've rejected. This is the essence of Jung's concept of the shadow, the dark, denied, or hidden parts of the self that people would rather not confront. When you are consistently patient, compassionate, or generous, you inadvertently shine a light on what others lack or have long suppressed. Instead of admiration, your kindness may evoke feelings of inferiority, shame, or resentment in those who are not in touch with their own better selves. Everyone carries a shadow, Jung said, and the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it is. In this context, your kindness is not just an act, it becomes a trigger. You represent everything the other person believes they are not. Rather than feel inspired, they feel exposed. Shadow projection. When you become the enemy. Jung explained that when people encounter their own shadow in another person, they often respond through projection. Instead of acknowledging the internal source of discomfort, they externalize it. They begin to see you as the problem. This is why truly kind individuals are often accused of having hidden motives. People may fabricate elaborate stories to justify their discomfort with your goodness, telling themselves that you're manipulative, fake, or naive. The better you are, the more their own internal conflicts are triggered, and the more uncomfortable they become, the more aggressively they may try to bring you down to their level. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely, Jung wrote. When your kindness forces others to confront the reality that they could be different, that they could choose kindness but don't, it shakes their identity. Rather than evolve, many people will react by tearing down the one who threatens their illusion. The persona versus the authentic self. Another powerful idea from Jung is the concept of the persona, the social mask we wear to be accepted. Many people build their personas around being tough, rational, or realistic, which can often mean cynical or emotionally guarded. When you show up with genuine kindness, you're not operating from a persona, you're operating from your authentic self. This stark contrast makes their mask feel even more fake. Unable to admit this discrepancy to themselves, they redirect their discomfort outward, toward you. Everything that irritates us about others, Jung said, can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Your kindness becomes the irritant that cracks their facade. In their eyes, you're not noble, you're a threat to their psychological status quo. Kindness as a cultural rebellion. Jung also discussed the collective unconscious, the shared mental and emotional framework inherited by all people. When your kindness goes against cultural norms, in a world that often rewards cruelty or selfishness, it doesn't just threaten individuals, it threatens the system. Your behavior implies that a different way of being is possible, and that idea terrifies those who have anchored their identities in the current system. You may then become a scapegoat onto whom people project their collective shame, guilt, and self-hatred. This explains why groups sometimes unite against those who stand out, even for doing good. In this way, your personal growth and compassion highlight others' stagnation. You become a walking challenge to the collective denial of deeper truth. People will sabotage, mock, or isolate you, not for your behavior, but for what your behavior represents. Performative kindness, the dark side of being nice. While Jung offers empathy for kind people who are mistreated, he also urges self-reflection. Sometimes what appears to be kindness is actually a disguised need for validation or control. This is what Jung called the helper's neurosis, doing good not from wholeness, but from a desire to be seen as good. Performative kindness feels manipulative because it is. It's not rooted in authenticity, but in the need to be liked, accepted, or admired. People often sense this subconscious motive, and instead of gratitude, they respond with suspicion or even contempt. Jung challenges us to examine our true motives. Are we kind because it's who we are? Or are we kind because we want something in return? Approval, love, a sense of superiority. Authentic kindness flows from wholeness, not emptiness. Healthy kindness requires boundaries. One of the most overlooked aspects of true kindness is boundaries. Kindness without limits becomes codependency. It's no longer love, but sacrifice that feeds dysfunction. According to Jung, mature kindness includes differentiation, the ability to remain yourself while allowing others to be themselves without absorbing their projections. When you establish boundaries, you prevent others from using your kindness as a weapon against you. People with healthy self-esteem aren't threatened by genuine kindness. It's the wounded, the repressed, the unconscious who react negatively. And once you realize this, you gain the power to stop taking it personally. Escaping the rescuer trap. Jung also warned about falling into the rescuer archetype, a pattern where you unconsciously seek out people to save. This dynamic often leads to resentment as the rescued person begins to feel inferior or controlled, even if your intentions were good. Worse still, the rescuer may choose relationships where they're destined to be rejected, mirroring unresolved childhood wounds. The unconscious belief, if I'm too good, I'll be punished for it. This self-sabotaging loop reinforces the belief that kindness leads to pain. But it's not kindness that hurts. It's unhealed trauma driving unconscious behavior. Conscious compassion, the way forward. Carl Jung ultimately offers us a path through the complexity, conscious compassion. This means being kind without being naive, supportive without being codependent, and understanding without losing yourself. When you develop this form of emotional sobriety, others' reactions become data, not definitions. If someone attacks your kindness, it says more about their internal state than your behavior, and crucially, Jung emphasized this truth. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Applied to kindness, this means clearing out the need for validation, superiority, control, or acceptance that corrupts pure intention. What remains is authentic kindness, a force that's quiet, strong, and unconcerned with reward. The freedom of being yourself. Jung said, "The privilege of a lifetime is being who you are." But what if being who you are makes others hate you? This is where your greatest test and transformation occurs. True kindness must be forged in the fire of misunderstanding, rejection, and projection. When you can still be kind without needing to prove anything, you reach what Jung called psychological freedom. This is the transcendent function, the ability to hold paradox, to be soft and strong, to love without needing to be loved, to give without losing yourself. The world needs your strength. The world doesn't need less kindness. It needs more authentic kindness. Kindness rooted in self-awareness, healed wounds, and healthy boundaries. You may not always be appreciated. In fact, your light may make others deeply uncomfortable. But as Jung reminds us, your job isn't to dim your light for others' comfort. Your job is to shine wisely. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Now that you understand why kindness can be triggering, you also understand how to protect your peace while still living with an open heart. You don't need to stop being kind. You just need to stop being kind from weakness. Be kind from your center. Be kind from your power. Because the world doesn't just need kindness. It needs kindness that can't be shaken.